And so how helpful was it for you guys to have like a friend kind of in the same situation with that same feeling of, because a lot of people may not get it, they may not understand that kind of feeling of like, no, I just want to do my own thing. How helpful was it to have somebody like just like you pretty much doing the same thing?
Yeah, it's so helpful. And I think it's not only for if you want to be an entrepreneur. I think in any field, if you want to be a great writer or want to be a great poker player, you should find people of the same age, who want to achieve the same things and share that experience.
And so you said he was kind of like he was already an entrepreneur for 2 years at the time that you started the Story Network.
And you have to imagine, I think that also holds for you in your time as a consultant, having a job is actually a very comfortable situation. Yep. Because whatever happens, you get your salary, you keep the job, etc. So actually having someone that gives you the final push to actually take that step, that helped me very much. Just having the idea is one, but acting on it is two. And sometimes you just need some confirmation from someone else just saying, hey, just try and see what happens.
And to tell you what you already know sometimes. Yeah. Was there anybody kind of the opposite of Niels that was the not giving you the confirmation?
No, not really. No.
Just a little guy in the head maybe sometimes.
Yeah, it's just me and myself. I think that holds true in a lot of situations, that you are your own biggest barrier.
Yeah. And so was Rihanna, was she involved in the beginning?
That's funny that you ask, because it's yes and no. Because Rihanna was a colleague of mine at Debs, at the digital agency where I worked. We had very good and close contact, but she left the company like a year before I did to go on a world travel, which was also a very brave step to leave the comfortable job situation. And during that time, I talked with a lot of colleagues about entrepreneurship, and then that idea grew and grew, so I could take the step eventually. But Rihanna, in the meanwhile, was living the life on the other side of the world. And then just about a year later or so, the Story Network really took off. I had another business partner with whom I took the plunge. But things were crazy and we couldn't handle it anymore. And we always kept in contact with Rihanna. So I said, hey, are you coming back anytime soon? Because we need you.
But I think that's a great way to start, where you kind of like, you get forced to grow, because you have so much demand and then you're just trying to keep up with it. I think a lot of people start the opposite, where they'll get the huge office and they'll hire people and they say, no, we're definitely going to have all this demand. And then it doesn't happen. And that's a much more difficult situation than starting small and manageable. But then you're just doing such a good job and the referrals start coming in. And like I was telling you on the phone the other day, you start telling people no. And it's, I think that's a great way to kind of like start off, because then you get so much momentum, so much feedback, and you really feel like, okay, I'm doing something here with this, And when I was looking at your LinkedIn, when you were kind of describing on your bio there about what you do with the Story Network, it's very similar. I had just read it for the first time yesterday, but it's very similar to what I said, that the reason why I wanted to start the podcast was because I felt like there's a lot of, on the internet, you see a lot of kind of personalities that are curated and stuff like that. And you don't see a lot of just real humans kind of telling you their real story. And that was kind of what I wanted to do, was just talk with real humans and have real conversations and then hope that other people would enjoy those and learn from it. And that's kind of what you said, your strategy with the Story Network is finding a way to, work with companies to actually tell their story in a human way.
Yeah. And that's what we always said when we were visiting a potential client or just anyone who wants to hear it. Everyone has a great story. Even if you work in what you think the most boring company, there's always a good story to tell. And that we turned into a business and works very well. And that we turned into what we now call Moonback, because that is basically all storytelling. And so that's really what I love to do and to work on.
Even after a year, there's not even a product yet, so it's all
smoke and storytelling. Great job for a CMO. But so can you talk a little bit then about what is the story of Moonback? Like, what's that narrative there of why do we need it? Why did you guys create it? What do you hope to make better for us normal humans out here?
It started with a frustration. So just before COVID, I was on a 10-week sabbatical to Japan. And then when I returned, one of the first things that I read was that Booking.com was applying for government Corona support. I think they got like $65 million euros. So that made me very angry because I knew that the company like a year before made like 5 billion in profit. So in 10 minutes, I wrote a LinkedIn post, showing my frustration. And I ended with, if I get 10,000 likes, I will consider a crowdfunding campaign for an alternative.
Really?
And then that LinkedIn post that went viral. And I think I spoke with Mert 1 or 2 hours after I did that post. And I was asking him, how long will it take me to reply to all these messages that I'm getting?
Yeah, will it take me the whole day?
That's insane. I didn't know this. So you basically post a post on LinkedIn, frustrated about Booking.com getting the subsidy, and then it goes viral, and you said in it that you would do a crowdfunding, and then it happens. So then you're kind of stuck with, okay, I guess I have to do this.
I guess I have to do it, yeah.
And then you end up doing the campaign and raise $2 million on Crowdabout Now, right? $2 million in how long?
6 weeks.
6 weeks. But I think that there was 4 or 5 months between the LinkedIn post and the actual campaign, because there wasn't like a plan. So I did the LinkedIn post, and then after that I thought, oh my God, how I'm going to, what did I done? How can I?
But you say that 4 to 5 months, like that's a long time. That's not long from viral LinkedIn post to, raising actual funds. That's quick.
It felt like an age because we had so much stuff to learn and to figure out how to structure the company, if it's even possible and what kind of funds do you need to build an alternative. So there were so many questions that we had to find out and to validate. And so we spoke to a lot of hotels in that time and preparing the campaign. So yeah, maybe it's quick, but it felt like a lot of time.